As President Trump prepares to fill a seat, Don Lemon fills his diaper.
No matter what happens, everybody sticks with their team.
We're going to have to blow up the entire system. And you know what we're going to have to do?
No, I don't know
you know
about
what we're going to, yes,
Yeah.
we're going to have to do?
You just got to vote.
Honestly, from what your closing argument is, you're going to have to get rid of the Electoral College.
Yes, extremism is in at CNN, a symptom of cognitive failure. For to hold such extreme notions, you must embrace the irrational. As for real problems, just deny. Yeah, the guy who wants to destroy the system actually denies it when people are actually destroying the system. Remember, there's no crime because we dined in New York City.
We went out and had a great dinner in New York City tonight. People actually walked up to us and said, thank you for, I watch you every night. I can't believe they thought they had to do a double take at us actually hanging out and not seeing us on the TV screen. But New York City was not, a hellscape, was it?
I mean, that one guy who ran by with the machete who tried to guess. No, of course it isn't.
Ha. Nice journalism there, champ. No wonder CNN is now just weekly world news with Botox. Hey, I didn't get stabbed. Waiter, more Pinot. This is the same guy who mocked the mayhem until the polls mocked him.
Democratic cities are in chaos right now. Is this what you want from Joe Biden? And they're going to take your country away, and they're taking down the statues. And
crime is rising as they defund police.
Oh, my gosh, it's so bad.
The rioting has to stop. Chris, as you know and I know, it's showing up in the polling.
So the stats, the crimes, the victims, the torched city blocks, they don't exist until the polling says so. Worse, after forever denying provable violence, they still scream about an imagined hell that will come if Trump does X or Y. But these apocalypses never come unless they themselves create them, meaning they use their premise of a future Trumpian hell to validate the actual hell their own business model creates. They envision Trump destroying society, but they're doing the real work, excusing the real chaos, which happened. Here's a summary.
Nationwide unrest sparked by the police killing of George Floyd could lead to the highest insurance payout of its kind in history. Damage from looting and arson will cost $1 to $2 billion in claims.
They took everything. They took medications, like, patient medications that we had. They emptied all the shelves. They destroyed our computer system.
I signed my lease to this new bar and restaurant. This was like a dream. In the last 48 hours, everything just disappeared, just gone.
As crime surges, citizens flee cities, and the police resign, we know what's coming. And when it comes, you know who'll still be calling it a peaceful protest from a secure location, Pinot in one hand, 911 on speed dial in the other. So I'm always amazed, Dagan, that the Democrats can imagine this incredible apocalypse from everything Trump does, which never happens, while the stuff that's actually raging, nothing to see here.
Well, because they only talk to themselves. They live in that echo chamber. You only need to go into the streets of New York City and ask people, hey, you know anybody who's been assaulted in the last week? Hey, you know anybody whose car's been stolen? And this is in the numbers, but I'm not going to sit here and quote statistics. But the reason that the liberals and the left-wing lemmings in the media want to shut you up and basically act like all victims are lying, because it doesn't fit their political narrative. And people are, in the Democratic Party, they're worried because in this city, with the bail reform, no enforcement of quality life crimes, disbanding of the plainclothes street crime units, you name it, that's created a surge in crime. They have turned their backs, these idiots, on the people who live here. It is coming to other cities. This is a place with the left-wing leaders. They coddle criminals and they allow violent protests to just run amok. Mm-hmm. And it is coming for other cities because guess who's in favor of bail reform? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Jesse, I'm sure you have montage envy.
That was pretty good, Gutfeld. I did like how Lemon used that as an opportunity to say he was recognized at dinner. I don't know if you guys caught that one.
That's true.
In New York City, imagine. Listen, Greg, they've been lying and leaking. They've been unmasking and borking and boycotting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But now they're going to blow up the system.
Yes.
Like, what have they been doing? Like, we've been seeing them do this. So just 10 years ago, Barack Obama, he had the White House. The Democrats had the Senate. They had the House. He's won the Electoral College twice.
Yeah.
He's put 2 people on the Supreme Court justices. The Supreme Court ruled for gay marriage. Like, everything was good, right?
The system was great.
The system worked fine. Then the Republicans, they said, you know what, let's get the people to help us get our power back. And they did that within the system. They didn't try to blow it up. So what we have now is this. The Democrats are like a football team that keeps losing, and they want to blame the rules. And they ask their fans to say, hey, we're playing fine. The coaches are doing great. It's the rules that are causing us to lose. And the stupid fans, AKA Democratic voters, they're going along with it. They're saying, yeah, it's the rules. It's not the terrible players and the coaches.
What do you think, Juan? What Jesse just said.
Well, before I get to Jesse, let me just say, you guys talk about, anarchy, chaos in the streets. And I think, wow, Donald Trump has nothing to do with this spike in hate crimes under which
You didn't
president?
loot my neighborhood.
Oh, Donald Trump. How about this?
How do you-
What does the
Yeah,
FBI...
first you have to
hang
link
on,
it, Juan. You
hang
have to
on,
link
let me
it.
finish. What does the FBI say is the #1 threat? Domestic terrorist threat in the country, white
Did
supremacists
hate
with their
crimes
guns
cause
out
$2 billion in
cruising,
damage?
provoking
Did they cause
peaceful
$2 billion in damage,
demonstrators.
Juan?
No, you guys
I
don't
guess the
want to hear
montage
this
didn't work. I
because
tried.
it's just so plain to
Yes.
everybody
That
what a
was white
divisive president.
supremacist fires
What
right
a
there.
divisive president. But let me just say, I want to go back to your monologue because I think you're missing something here. I think you don't understand how frustrated people on the left are, Democrats, at the idea, for example, that, the Republicans are the majority of the Senate, but actually Democrats represent 40 million more people in this country in terms of their Democratic minority in that Senate.
But
Or you don't
haven't we had a
understand how,
Senate
hang
since
on, you
the
don't
country was
understand
formed?
how frustrated Democrats are that they have won, I believe it's 4 of the last 5 elections in terms of popular vote, but guess what? The game gets changed because of this or that, and suddenly Republicans are in the White House with the exception of the 2 Obama elections. So when it comes to saying, how do we deal with racial justice? How do we deal with economic issues? Hey, Democrats say, wait a minute, this is a tyranny. We never get a voice. The Republicans, who are a minority of the voters, are in
It's
fact
not
dominating
a
this
tyranny.
democracy.
It's a constitutional republic.
yeah.
Those rules about the government, they've never changed. They've been in place since the 1700s. To complain now because you're out of power just looks like you're being a whiner.
No, it doesn't. It looks to me like you're saying this country has changed and we need to address it because right now we're allowing a minority
You've
to
changed.
rule over
the
a
country
majority.
Stayed the same.
Dana?
And the
You
country
guys
has
have
not
changed.
stayed
Let's
the
bring
same.
Dana in here.
Most Americans don't live in the country anymore.
Juan, the Senate's been there since the 1700s.
Yeah.
Don't complain
Oh, yeah.
now when
And
you're
we're
out of
all-
power.
and you're a farmer.
You just had the
Are you
Senate.
a farmer? Are you a farmer? That's
No,
what
but I
most
go to Whole
Americans
Foods.
were back then.
I love Whole Foods.
I can make a
Great
quick-
to be back together.
I love the Electoral College, and I can do a whole thing on it, but I will spare you right now. I would just say this. Do you remember when Sarah Palin said that she had targeted sites for
Right.
And then the media said, she is targeting actual people for violence.
Right.
Or when President Trump has done some of these memes and they're funny, but they're like, he's inciting violence.
They linked it to
But
Giffords.
when they say that they're going to blow up the entire system, nobody bats an eye.
Yeah, especially after all these cities are burning. Bad language, Don.